Hey folks, JD here, and today we have this. This is the Canon EOS M converted 720nm infrared camera. So I can assure you, this isn't the same one that you saw in yesterday's video. They are two different cameras. I just like the EOS M Range because I have no end of lenses for them. So if I just take this off, yesterday we saw we had an orangey sort of sepia tone hue to the sensor. Today this one is jet black. So with the 720nm you're going to get, hopefully with the right light and with the right settings, you are going to get some beautiful white foliage on and white grass, a little bit like these. So those photos were taken on this very camera, and I think they look absolutely beautiful. Now, but you can't just let an infrared camera like this, just sit on auto levels. You have to manually change these levels. So what I would recommend is, before you start, if you've got a converted camera and you're new to this and you just want to go out there and start taking photos, yes you can, no problem, it's a good learning exercise. But if you want to make ones that you're actually proud of, that you either want to sell on stock sites or that you want to convert into canvas for your wall, or if you want to give them away as presents, then what you have to do is you have to start to learn how to manually change some of the camera settings so that you can start taking photos. So it's very important before you do anything that you have to have a very bright sunny day or a very light day, so you can start getting as much light as you can into this lens, into the sensor, so you can start taking some fantastic photos. So at the very least, your ISO should be on 200. You could put it on 100 if you want to, if you have a super bright day. I normally stick mine on 200 and be done with it. My exposure is sat at neutral for this particular camera, and I don't have any problems there. I shoot in RAW exclusively, and 16:9 is my aspect ratio for my photos. I use one shot auto tracking as well, and I also have a custom white balance set on a photo I take. So with the 720nm, what I would recommend you do is take a photograph of the grass. So imagine this is grass, so just take a photo of the grass. There we are, bang, we have, there we are. We have a photo of the grass, lovely. Then what you would do is go into your custom white balance, and then on the photo of the grass, click set, and then that's it. You've set your custom white balance, so every other photo from this point onwards is going to have the same white balance levels as your base image. That way then you're going to get some absolutely spectacular photos without there being much problem. Now of course, as you can see, this is not your normal camera, so it doesn't look anything like a normal camera. So the photos you get from this, you've got to process. I'll be going into that with you in the next couple of days and showing you exactly how to do that. So with all these settings dialed in, ISO 200 minimum, all I would say is don't go above 400. If you've got to go above 400, then leave your photography until another day, until you can stay down within 200. The higher up the ISO you go, the more noisy your photos are going to be, until eventually there's just going to be no point in you taking infrared photos, because it's just going to be 90% noise, and it's going to take away from the special effect of the infrared. Now, once you've got all your settings dialed in, you've done your white balance, so then all you can do is you're then ready to go around and start taking some fantastic photos. So then you should pretty much be ready to rock and roll. Now you can use any lens with this, because obviously the camera is converted. There's no I haven't got any long exposure times on it, because it's a converted camera. It's not a filter on a lens, therefore you don't need a tripod. You can just walk around with it in your hand and quite literally just turn it around and start taking photos left, right and center. As you can see, there's nothing special about the exposure times here. It's what, half a second, if that, exposure time, and you're not having any problems whatsoever. You're just going to have to go through and just take as many photos as you can using your converted camera. And then that's it, then you're pretty much ready to go. So then the next step, once you have figured out the settings good for you in your area. Now it does take a little while. I think I've taken about either 500 or 1,000 photos with this since I've had it, and that's been a great learning exercise. I won't use any of those photos now as stock or anything like that. I'll delete all of them. They're just good as test purposes, so I can try out different lights, different ISOs, different exposures, and just literally get a real feel for how this camera works. So then on the next next batch of photos, I can be sure that every single one is going to be to my liking and it's going to be dialed in correctly. Here's just a couple more examples for you. So there we go, and as many examples as possible. We've got that brilliant, beautiful white from the 720. It looks absolutely stunning. Alright then, my friends, please join me again tomorrow when we're going to be going through how to edit these photos using GIMP, and then how to go through it and actually reverse these levels so that you then have everything that you need to start getting up and running and taking the photos, editing the photos, and then we've got a really long nature walk where I take a load of photos and explain to you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Alright then, my friends, please join me then. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and ring that bell too. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy shooting.